So next up, we have Desmond, the co-founder of Kasturi. So Kasturi goal is to bring the food, beverages and hospitality industry into a franchise ecosystem and ultimately provide a better supply chain in the industry. So to achieve this, they plan to build their own brand as the franchisor by launching New York pizza delivery and to be the master franchise for Meat Fresh. Meat Fresh is an international Taiwanese dessert brand. So they have already signed the agreement with Meat Fresh and to represent the brand in Malaysia. And in the midst of setting up their first New York pizza delivery outlet in somewhere Nexus. So to hear more about their future plan from Kasturi, we have the co-founder Desmond here with us today. Right, so over to you, Desmond. You can now share the screen. Yeah.
Okay, good day everyone. My name is Desmond Khoo. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Kasturi Capital Holding. In short, we call it Kasturi. So today we are going to talk about why and who about Kasturi. So this is some disclaimer by request by SC. I'm not going to look into details. So this is the content of today's presentation, and we're going to highlight some key points later. So a little bit about Kasturi background. Actually, Kasturi is registered in 2020 September after the first COVID lockdown. However, we start operating again in 2021 last year September. So our initial strategy is to be the authority in food, beverage and hospitality. So this year 2022 is our first milestone step into the market. So Kasturi is passionate about food, beverage and hospitality. So in short, we call it FBH. Our focus is very much on retail, operating the retail chain, design, and on the FBH. So what is the problem or what's the shortage that current FBH we have? First of all, it's about talking about hygiene and safety. So there's very low awareness about hygiene by most of the consumer in Malaysia. And secondly, also about poor maintenance by the operator. Secondly, is about kitchen design and the workflow. Many operators are very focused on dining area, but they put a lot less emphasis on kitchen design. And there's many brands in overseas, but however, not many are able to success in abroad. There's only a few that can sustain, such as like Mary Brown, Secret Recipe, that are available in abroad. And there's many international brands coming to Malaysia. However, there are also many brands that fail in Malaysia, or some of them not enter to Malaysia or bypass Malaysia, such as like Dairy Queen, Papa John, Shaky Pizza, and Johnny Rocket. So what is the solution that we are going to provide? First of all is SOP. Kasturi will develop, implement and enforce to ensure high standard of occupational health, safety and hygiene. Then we are talking about smart concept. Okay, we will focus on design and build restaurant, introducing digital info transformation in total of front of house and back of house solution. Thirdly, we will create our own brand. Okay, aim to develop brand that is high competitiveness, quality and innovation, with the ultimate objective is to bring them abroad. And lastly, we also like to bring international brand into Malaysia, okay, by franchise agreement or by business collaboration. So Kasturi's strategy is very straightforward. We have two strategies, which is one, create our own brand, either by creating or by joint venture. And secondly is to bring in international brand. So these two brands all will be developed and transformed into a franchise ecosystem. So this is a revenue stream that will consist like dining, takeaway, delivery, merchandise sales in futures. There are some revenue on research, development and training center. We call it RDTC. So the other revenue will be like licensing before we start the franchise. Then with the franchise fee, once we obtain the franchise license, then there will be a loyalty fee. And last, there will be a stock sales to the franchise. So this is a Kasturi phase 1 timeline for 2022 to 2026. We will be like creating our own brand and bringing an international brand by stages. And for the first one, we only focus in Malaysia region only. So for the beginning, our own brand, I just mentioned, we're going to develop NY Pizza Delivery. In short, we call it NYPD. Then there will feel like a smart concept, kopitiam, there will have golf key and sebumbong. And then we also bring in the first franchise brand, Meat Fresh, a Taiwanese dessert. And there will be a couple other brands, but which I cannot disclose at this point of time. So this year is our Kasturi key milestone. So we are going to bring in these two brands, which is NYPD and also a Taiwanese dessert, we call it a Meat Fresh. So actually, F&B market in Malaysia is quite big. That's why there's so many F&B operation is starting boost up after the COVID. Look at just Malaysia alone, we are talking about 87 billion market size. And in Klang Valley alone is about 28 billion. market size. So for the first 2 years, Kasturi will focus on Klang Valley area for the first 2 years. So what's so unique about Kasturi? We have 5 unique selling points. First of all, we will collaborate with the best brand and the products. We will bring multiple brand concept and diversify our revenue stream. And thirdly, we offer loyalty membership program or privilege program under Kasturi brand. The fourth, we're going to have a smart concept integration. And last but not least, there's an employment and the business and entrepreneurship opportunity by Malaysian for Malaysian. So what makes Kasturi so different from so many players, so many company? So we have 3 different areas that we are for the investor to look into it. First, we are talking about design and build concept because we would like to focus on that. Secondly, is about smart concept, where there's an integration between the front of house and the back of house, and other area which will integrate together with design and build concept. And finally, last one is synchronizing the loyalty program under Kasturi brand. So take an example, there are so many brands like Kenny Rogers, Krispy Kreme or Starbucks, which is run under Berjaya Group, but they are not able to share the loyalty program. For Kasturi, anything brand that will be in Kasturi umbrella, we would let the customers or the end user to have the loyalty program synchronized. So there are so many pizza players around, like Pizza Hut, Domino, current US Pizza, and New York Pizza. So what make us so different from other players? First of all, we're going to develop a food truck, a pizza food truck that have not been developed yet. So for NYPD, other than award-winning pizza that obtained by the founder in Hong Kong and Shenzhen, so we are the first outlet or first store that we're going to serve 16-inch pizza in Malaysia. And then there's the 2 different concepts that we're going to build in our flagship store, which is first, make your own pizza, and the other one is take and bake. So make your own pizza is like a concept where you can have bonding, so you can have your own experience of making your pizza. After you're making the pizza, then we will bake for you, and then the customer will eat the pizza they make. So they can make any shape, they can provide any ingredient, make any ingredient. Because NYPD, we are focusing on our crunch, so that some customer may want to buy just fresh dough, and we provide them the ingredient they can bring home and bake at home. Last, we are the only first one to provide a fruit soda drink in pizza outlet. Then how about Meat Fresh? If you compare with current Snowflake that's available in Malaysia, Meat Fresh have the best of both worlds. One is their Taiwanese most popular dessert, the yam dessert. And of course, they also have the tea series. And also for Meat Fresh is international accredited and certified. Oh, this is our first milestone. We're going to open our first NYPD store next week, 21st of July. Location will be at Tadamansara Sunway Nexus. So what is our Kasturi future plan for 2022? We will be target to open our first Meat Fresh store, and also we target to open our first flagship store by Q4 2022. So this is our Kasturi timeline for 2022 to 2026. We plan to open 14 outlets of NYPD and 13 outlets of Meat Fresh by 2026. So I'd like to share some of the revenue, gross profit and EBITDA projection for 2022 to 2026. We have a revenue growth from 4.2 million to 88.3 million, which we have a CAGR of 83%. So on the average of gross profit, we are looking at 65 to 66% gross profit. And the EBITDA we have by 2026 is about 23.4 million. So the CAGR of EBITDA is about 219%. So what we are offering and what we are going to achieve from this campaign is we like to achieve minimum target of 800,000 and the maximum to 2.5 million. And we are offering redeemable convertible preference share RCPS, and the minimum investment for this is 2,400, which is 50 share per block. So what we are offering in 5 packages, from package A to package E. So package A is the entry level, which is 2004 with 50 RCPS, and every package will gradually increase by 2,400 ringgit or every 50 unit shares. So the highest the package is about 12,000. And our dividend return over the 5 years is 30%. So for the investors that are investing in Kasturi Capital Holding, they will have a discount for all the F&B, okay, between 5 to 15%. As long in future, any brand that will be operate or open up by under Kasturi, all the investor and the current investor will enjoy certain percentage based on the package they invested. So today we are at the pre-launch stage. So we also offering early bird for all the new investors, all the investors, they will enjoy 5 to 15% bonus share if they invest during this pre-live session. The benefit will be start from package B to package E. So where will be the fund go? The fund will be go into our outlet kitchen equipments, the outlet renovations, the franchise fee, and the working capital. You look into the marketing and business development, and also the rental and the leasing of the outlet. So this is our Kasturi timeline, okay, our plan. So like I earlier mentioned, this is our phase 1 where we are going to only focus on building our foundation. We're going to build our own concept and brand. Then we'll develop our master brand and working with the international brand. And for this phase 1, we only focus in Malaysia region only. So when we move into the phase 2 after 2026, beyond 2037, we are looking into expansion into the Southeast Asia region. We are looking for a partnership that work together, a franchise, and we also looking into merger and acquisition. And the final we have going to also be looking for the capital venture so that we expanding the business. And finally, our long-term plan is go to IPO at phase 3. Let me introduce some of the founders. This is all the founders. Desmond Loh Kotong. We have the founders Amy Yee and the founders Mr. Ramani Raju. So all this founder was my schoolmate, 30 years ago. So we coming together to found Kasturi. So this is the team at the moment, current team. So this is myself, Desmond Khoo. I was appointed by the board of directors, become the CEO of Kasturi. Little bit of background of myself. I have 30 years of working experience as a sales and marketing. I have been working in China for 15 years, past 15 years since 2004 to 2019. And the past 25 years, I involved heavily in 2 industries, which is one is the dentistry. I used to supply equipments, material to all the dentists in Malaysia and China, and also F&B. And for the past 10 years, I was heavily involved in focus on F&B, but more on the supply kitchen equipment and design and build in China. So I just came back 2019 before the COVID. Okay. So now the next team is I'd like to introduce Mr. Thompson Lee. So he actually is the founder of NYPD in Shenzhen. And Thompson Lee is an American-born Chinese. He went to Shenzhen 20 years ago and he started off to build a NYPD 18 years ago. So I met him during my business trip, supplying some equipment to him, and I tried his pizza. That's where I started. He has some uniqueness of the pizza. That's why we come up with NYPD joint venture in Malaysia. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Ramani Raju. He's our DGM. He has 30 years experience in operating F&B outlet restaurants. He worked with Shaky Pizza, he worked with KFC before. So he has very good experience of operating restaurants. So he will be heading the operation. So for Kasturi, as we are a new startup, so we are working with third-party consultant to develop Kasturi foundation and fundamentals. So this is the team of consultants we are working with. There's an entrepreneur culture. They are specialized in developing franchise. So we are working closely with them to develop our franchise in future. We have 7-9 and Lighthouse Production where is our marketing team. They are developing our CI, our corporate image, content writing, and video shooting and photography. And like I said, we have a design and build. We have NC Square and multi-commercial kitchen, which they are specialized on back of house design and front of house design. So we all are from different background and professional and industry, but with Kasturi 3 core value, compassion, passion, compassion, and wisdom, I believe and confidence we can bring Kasturi to the next level in the FBH industry. So why invest in Kasturi? First of all, we have a sustainable and scalable business. Secondly, we have multiple brand and concept for different revenue stream. Thirdly, we have a long-term plan and a vision, mentioned like phase 1 to phase 3. We are committed to to enhance and expand our Malaysian value into abroad. And last, we are focused on creating FBH franchise ecosystem. So last but not least, this is our vision. Kasturi vision is to become Asia top 50 in FBH. So thank you everyone. So I'd like to open to any Q&A to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Desmond. Okay, so we will open for Q&A session for Desmond. So if you have any questions, to drop the questions in the comment section. Desmond, very interesting that we can make our own pizza in your new outlet, is it?
Yes, not this outlet. That will be at the flagship store.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, there will be a bigger space so that you can design need your corner.
People can roll the dough themselves?
Sorry?
Make the dough themselves?
They will not make the dough themselves. We prepare the dough so that they can make the shape of the pizza. So you can make rectangle, heart shape, hexagon, whatever shape they want.
Okay. We have a few questions here for you.
Okay.
Do you have halal certification for both products? I think
sorry?
Yeah, it's referring to the Meat Fresh and the New York pizza, I assume.
Okay, so actually now we are Muslim friendly at this point of time because we cannot get halal certificate immediately. So both Meat Fresh and NYPD is Muslim friendly, but after operation, then we will work on getting the halal certificate. That's why we mentioned culture entrepreneur is one of the working partner to work on this process.
Okay. Next question is, does Kasturi have plans to develop its own FBH brand in the future? Yeah, actually New York Pizza is your own brand, right?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you can show the slide again on the brand.
Yeah, this one. So actually we are building, that's like I mentioned, for the first phase one, we build a few different concepts. Let me just briefly share to you balance layer. This is some smart concept that we would like to transform or upgrading what we have at our street food concept. Because at the moment, you can see our street food is, we want to transform them to be more digital and a well-organized space, so that this will have a little food court, but clean and hygiene. So, and then is a golf key. So I myself is passionate of golf. I like golf, and as a golfer, we always after golf we are looking for a place to eat, to drink, and to chat. So that is why I come up with the idea of golf key, where we can cater for the golfer, but of course not specialized just for the golfer, also open up for the public. So with this, the golf key will have certain rooms, a few rooms, so that they can make a reservation in the room. They can have their own small little function. Okay, and the golf key concept will be very much Western and fusion. Okay, and then this is about sembumbung. I think everyone in Malaysians like food, no matter you are Chinese, Indian, Malay. So what we are trying to bring in the sembumbung, or we call it under one roof, is we want to bring every corner of food of Malaysia into one roof, so that everyone can enjoy Sabahan's East Malaysian food, East Coast food, Southern food. Then you don't need mention about the Penang or other places food, so that this food will be available in Sembumbung.
Is it all planning to open up in KL, or is it other state?
At this point of time, as I mentioned, for the first 2 years, definitely will be at Klang Valley. But of course, when it comes to the third to the fourth year, we will expand into other regions.
Next question is, why investing in Kasturi? Because Berjaya Food, Loop Holdings is much bigger than Kasturi at this point of time. So what credibility do Kasturi have?
Like just I mentioned, there's 3 differences. Okay, other group, they are focused on very retail operation. Of course, they also have multiple brands. But what Kasturi have is, we have 3 different things that we are really focused on. First, we are talking about design and build concept. We are going to integrate the smart concept into the design and build. And lastly, because you look at the synchronization of loyalty program, which is many companies that did not implement. So we are going to implement synchronizing, but this is mainly for the consumer benefit.
Regarding this, right, there is one question is, what is smart concept?
Okay, smart concept is like now, because now everyone is using apps. So they're actually in the kitchen alone. They already been implementing a smart concept kitchen, whereby we are looking at how to maintain your kitchen equipment, the data that what is your kitchen been cooking, what kind of menu you're been cooking. So what kind of, they will tell you the so-called maintenance and services. So that this is all the data we captured at the back of house. Okay, so that you know how you manage your kitchen and also manage your ingredient or your inventory. And of course, there's some smart concept now that we always look at it is very much at the front of the house, where you can put in ordering your QR code, you're ordering on the app. So now what we are looking at is integrating front of house and back of house in together.
I think this is a related question. Are you planning to have set up your own central kitchen?
Not at this point of time, because we are focused on research and development training center. So we will be put a more emphasis on research and development rather than central kitchen, because central kitchen at this point of time we don't have the capacity, we don't have the logistic, so we are not focused on central kitchen at this point of time for the phase 1, but we are focused a lot of research and development, because every brand we are do a lot of research and development, create new menu, because we cannot keep selling a couple of menus just for a year or two, but we need to have developed menu for certain occasion, Chinese occasion, you have Indian occasion, you have Malay occasion. So we want to have all these menu to suit certain occasion. And of course, research and development of menu is one of the core or the key for a F&B to continue their menu development.
Okay. Actually, there are a few questions. Maybe we just pick two before we wrap up. What strategy do you have if Malaysia have another round of lockdown?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think hopefully it doesn't happen. Okay? But if let's say things happen, like for NYPD, we are a hybrid in between Domino and Pizza Hut, which is we have dining and also we have delivery. So therefore, if let's say there's a lockdown, then we probably will move our focus into the delivery. So same likewise to Meat Fresh. And of course, the other thing is we are looking into a food truck. So when there's, let's say for example, the lockdown, hopefully they will allow the food truck to operate, so that the food truck of the NYPD will be able mobile, go to the location or certain location, and they can generate revenue from that.
So looking at the plan and timeline for Kasturi, is the targeted fund to be raised underestimated at this stage?
I wouldn't say it's underestimated, because for this round, we are focused on our 3 stores, 3 outlets. Of course, when the times come, then probably we will do another round of fundraising, or we will look into other revenue of capital, or from the bank, or from any SME loan. Because the reason why we are moving toward on the this equity crowdfunding ECF is we are new startup, and Malaysia normally new startup they need to have 6 months, 9 months financial things, but unfortunately we don't have. But of course, when we operate for 6 months to 9 months, definitely our sales or revenue probably will generate our self-sustain and get some other capital loan from other financial resources.
All right. Actually, there are a few more questions. Maybe we can have this investors post the questions in your campaign page and you can answer it there. Right. Thank you so much, Desmond. Okay, so Kasturi is currently pre-live on Pitchin and they are aiming to raise 2.5 million ringgit. So you can now become part of Kasturi by investing as low as 2.4K. So for more details on their offer, you may visit their campaign page. So thank you so much, Desmond.